Hey everybody, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be reviewing the book Thief by Markus Zusak. And this is what it looks like. It's a pretty popular book. It says it's a New York Times #1 bestseller, so pretty sure you all have heard of this. The book is 550 pages long, so it's not the shortest read, but definitely is worth it to read this very big book. So let's get into what I really loved about this book, because I give it a 5 out of 5 stars, meaning that I thought it was really amazing, and it has actually become one of my favorite books, and it's going to be a book that I'm going to remember for a long time and probably want to reread over again. The cover, I always like to talk about the cover first. I thought, the cover didn't really appeal to me at first. That is why I put off reading this book for so long. Like I saw it a lot. It came up a lot of my Goodreads, and just kind of like, doesn't look like my kind of book. Read it, got a little bit more interested, so I bought it, and then I read like a lot of books before this one until I picked it up, and then I was like, okay, I have to read this since I'm seeing so many good reviews on it. So I decided to read it. This book is about a girl, and her name is Liesel. I've seen a lot of people's reviews, and that's how they say her name, Liesel, like kind of rhyming with weasel. But the whole time I was reading this book, I really didn't know how to say it, so I kept saying Liesel. And I don't know, now it just stuck with me, Liesel. Since everyone's calling her Liesel, I guess that is how you say it. She is about 9 years old, I think, when the book first starts, and it takes place in 1939 in Nazi Germany. So that is the setting of the book, and it's not my typical favorite kind of setting. Like, I usually read contemporary books, current books, or books that are that take place in the future. So this is definitely something different for me. Basically, right off the bat, in the beginning, you are introduced to the narrator, which is Death, and I thought that was the most unique idea ever that Markus Zusak created, Death. And I was reading the back afterwards, and he said that his first draft of Death was like a really mean character, and it was kind of like going around really happy that all these people were dying, and it just didn't work. So he made Death to be like a really soft character. Like, Death was really sympathetic. He didn't like his job, and it was just, he had to do it because of the boss or whatever. So I thought Death was a great character, or like a great narrator, because he was so present during this time in the Holocaust, and he just got to witness a lot of things. Liesel, she goes to live with her foster family, because her mother cannot take care of her anymore, and it starts off, her brother dies, and she has to bury him, and that is where she steals her first book, which is the Grave Digger's Handbook. And this is all on the back, so I'm not giving anything away. My favorite thing about this book was the characters. I don't think I will ever forget these characters, because they were just they had so much depth to them, they had just so much liveliness to them, and I really thought that Markus Zusak, he really just captured every personality out there, and it just blew my mind, because I'm missing the characters right now that I finished the book and I'm starting on another one. Yeah. So I thought Liesel, she was very perceptive, and she knew how to talk to people, and she knew how to sympathize with people and how people felt. Even though all the events that happened in her life, they weren't really huge and drastic. Not all of them. Some of them were, but not all of them. And I thought they really did have a meaning to them. Everything had like an impact in her life, and she really took everything that happened to her, and it made her such a strong character and such a strong person. And I thought that she was just really good. I thought she was really mature for her age, and I just love that she had this marriage with books and words, and she just fell in love with it. She was just way more engrossed in these words, and because, it wasn't something that was readily available to her, and she had to learn to read at an older age than all of us probably did, so she really did not take that for granted. Papa was, I think, the most surprising character for me, because when I first knew that she was going to be going into a foster family, I thought it was going to be like more of a bad situation, and he just, you know, he took Liesel in, and he was just the greatest father ever. He taught her how to read. He stayed up with her every single night. He was just that, you know, homey character, and you just loved him. Another thing that I really liked was that even a lot of the small characters, you really kind of got to know them, and they weren't just kind of thrown to the side. They were Max and the mayor's wife. They weren't main characters really, but and Rudy's family and stuff like that, they weren't really main characters. I thought that they really did bring a lot to the book. It was amazing! I thought that all the issues that they dealt with in this book was really just heart-shattering, because dealing with the Jews, and from a German perspective, because Liesel was a German girl and she was living in Nazi Germany, you just kind of saw a whole different perspective of how it was then, not only just for the Jews, but how it was for the Germans. They were living in total fear, and they just kind of like had to abide with the rules or face like really dire consequences. At one point, the book actually did make me cry. It was towards the end, and it was just, you know, so emotional. That scene never happened to me. I kind of get teary-eyed sometimes during books, but never where there's like actual tears streaming down my face. So any book that can make me do that definitely deserves 5 stars. So once again, 5 out of 5 for The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I will surely get back to you. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day. Bye.